Lpak really has been formulated not by a single scientist, but by a group of over 75 scientists at Pharmanex. And therefore, you can rest assured that there's a lot of really good nutrition knowledge being put into that product. This is not a product that somebody has invented or created, for a marketing purpose. This is a product built on solid scientific consensus. So that's the short answer. I can give you a long answer that can last several hours because there is so much science in Lpak. Lpak is built on over 300,000 different studies that we have reviewed that support all of the nutrients that we have in the product. Lpak addresses nutrient deficiencies much better than any other multivitamin, and that's because it delivers the right amounts of nutrients and, in addition, forms of these nutrients that are truly bioavailable, as we say, which means they can be utilized and assimilated by the body very easily. And the second big benefit of Lpak is that it provides cardiovascular nutrition, which is very unusual for a multivitamin. And that's because of higher levels of certain antioxidant vitamins, of certain B vitamins, of certain minerals that are all needed for long-term cardiovascular health. And the third benefit of Lpak is to provide really important and significant bone nutrition. That's where most multivitamins fall short, because they don't have enough calcium and magnesium, and also they don't provide all of the other auxiliary nutrients that we need for optimum bone health. Also, Lpak provides a good arsenal of nutrients that promote the immune system. And the immune system is very important to fight pathogens, and it relies on a steady supply of nutrients such as vitamin A, beta-carotene, and some B vitamins. And the fifth benefit is to work on glucose and insulin metabolism. And that's really important for the regulation of carbohydrate metabolism and also how you feel during the day. It makes a very, very big difference. And then Lpak also has benefits for anti-aging, which we have been promoting for a long time. And that's because Lpak contains over 25 different nutrients that are involved in the aging process. And the last and the seventh benefit is the one we're focusing on quite a bit lately, and that's providing optimum antioxidant nutrition. And that's done with 40 different antioxidants that you'll find in Lpak. So overall, it's a really comprehensive formula, and again, it is built on scientific consensus and not on the opinion of one or two scientists. Well, the big difference with Lpak is the scientific scrutiny that goes into that product, and that we can measure the effects of Lpak. We have done double-blind, placebo-controlled clinical studies to show the effects. We have done many other studies on Lpak to show people that the product works. But most important of all, we have the biophotonic scanner, which shows individually to a person that Lpak is working for themselves. And so really this is what we mean by the measurable difference within Pharmanex. And this is really what Lpak and the biophotonic scanner are all about. And there's a number of studies that have been accomplished during the last 2 to 3 years on the biophotonic scanner. The first studies looked actually at eye health to check the pigments, the lutein and zeaxanthin pigments, on the retina of the eye. And then this technology was expanded towards use in the skin. And the skin really is a very good marker of carotenoid status for the whole body. And this is what these studies focused around. So the first study that we did at Pharmanex was a large study in 1,375 people that looked at lifestyle variables and antioxidant status markers and compared that with the carotenoid skin score that we can measure with the biophotonic scanner. And in that study, we established that there are strong relationships with fruits and vegetable intake, with antioxidant supplement intake such as Lpak, and also with inverse relationships with cigarette smoking, for example, and also with free radical damage. So this study confirmed very beautifully all of our initial assumption about the technology. The second study was a supplementation trial where we supplemented 30 people with Lpak, and we saw an increase in the score of about 10 to 11,000 over an 8-week period. And this study showed that the carotenoids of Lpak and the antioxidants are actually getting into the system, as we have shown previously in the double-blind studies, but it confirmed that this actually happens in the skin, and it again confirmed several studies published in the literature that the skin carotenoids are a very good marker for overall body carotenoids. And then the third study we did was a paramount study because we compared the skin carotenoids to the blood serum carotenoids, which has been so far the gold standard in research. And we showed a very strong, highly significant correlation between the two, which helps people now use the skin carotenoids as measured with the biophotonic scanner to estimate blood serum carotenoids. We are currently in the process of doing 3 more clinical trials, and that will all address this correlation with blood carotenoids even further. That will also address the relationship of carotenoids with antioxidant status, with the total antioxidant status, and with free radical damage in the body. So those studies are underway, and at the same time there are several studies now going on around the world in independent research labs, because we have presented the biophotonic scanner at 4 different scientific meetings so far and have presented our study results, and that has generated a lot of interest in the academic communities. The skin is a very good indicator of the carotenoid status because skin tissue takes up carotenoids non-specifically from the blood. In other words, there is not a single carotenoid that is enhanced in skin tissue versus the other ones. It's basically a passive process of exchange between blood and skin, and blood is in equilibrium with the rest of the body. And therefore, skin is a very nice, good representative measure of what's going on in your entire body with carotenoids. The skin takes up carotenoids very slowly over a long time period, whereas blood takes it up much faster. So if you're supplementing with Lpak, you will see a faster increase in the blood serum. You will actually see an increase after a meal that's rich in carotenoids. Whereas in skin, these short-term fluctuations don't happen. So skin is truly what the nutritionist really would like to see. It's a long-term indicator of nutritional status. And therefore, it's much more valuable than looking just at blood. Blood is a transport medium. It transports nutrients from the gut where they are absorbed into the tissues where they are needed. And therefore, it's always confounded by what you ate in your last meal. And Lpak has over 25 different anti-aging nutrients, as I mentioned before. And these anti-aging nutrients do a number of different things, but they're all concerned about the health of our genetic material, which is called the DNA. The DNA sits in the insides of the nuclei of each of our cells, and it controls whatever the cells are supposed to do, all of the biochemical processes. And they also control, the DNA also controls the aging process overall. The DNA is constantly damaged by free radicals and by radiation damage. And that leads to a lot of problems in the DNA structure, some of which cannot be repaired by the body. And the accumulation of these DNA damage events eventually leads to aging. So anti-aging is all about keeping DNA healthy. And we have these 25 different nutrients in Lpak that not only protect the DNA from the damage in the first place, but they can also enhance the DNA repair very greatly, and that can also make sure that the DNA can be replicated during cell replications very smoothly. So this is what it's all about. Aging is all about DNA health, and Lpak has been formulated to address that very effectively. Some of the additional benefits of Lpak include eye health. For example, Lpak provides 8 times more lutein than common multivitamins that you can buy on the market. And lutein is a very important nutrient for maintaining good eyesight long term. Lpak also has a lot of lycopene, which is important for prostate health. Lpak has the right nutrients for optimum skin health and also for the protection of DNA that is important for women during childbearing age, especially folic acid. And Lpak has many, many other benefits that are very important for the body. Carotenoids are important for a number of reasons in the skin and also in the whole body. Carotenoids in the skin protect our skin directly from UV light in the sun. They are actually providing a sun protection factor. There's many studies published on that. And in addition to that, carotenoids help protect the DNA in the nuclei of our cells. Carotenoids are very powerful antioxidants, and they're very, very sensitive to oxygen-free radicals. They're actually so sensitive, they have been called the first line of defense against free radicals in the body. And because of that, they are a very good indicator of overall antioxidant status. Because if you think about oxidative stress, if you have an increased amount of free radicals in the body, it is the carotenoids that basically are sacrificed first. And therefore, when you have a lot of oxidative stress, the carotenoid level will go down first, which we have shown in our studies, for example, by showing that smokers have much lower carotenoid levels in the skin than non-smokers, and that's caused by the free radicals that are released by the tobacco smoke. There's a lot of different banned substances that the International Olympic Committee and other athletic organizations are screening for. And it actually takes quite a bit in manufacturing control and in the ingredient control and analysis to make sure that the products are free of banned substances. And we at Pharmanex have first started doing that with the Olympic Games in 2002, and we did a number of different tests here, not only on Lpak, but on a lot of our products to make sure that they are not only free of banned substances, but in addition also that when athletes are taking combinations of our products, that their urines, for example, don't test positive for any substances as well. And that's a very, very important test. If you're an expert in banned substances, you know that sometimes these banned substances can actually accumulate in the body and then show up in the urine, actually higher concentrations as they are present in the supplements. And testing for banned substances falls also under our 6S process. It is really looking, not only at what are the standardized levels of important nutrients and actives in the product, but the 6S process also makes sure that our product is completely free from any of these undesirable substances, of safety hazards, of banned substances, and so on. If the body mass is high, if you have a lot of body fat, your score tends to be quite a bit lower than in lean people. And this observation we have now made repeatedly in 3 different studies, and is actually a very strong and very significant association. And the reason for that is that the more fat there is in the body, the more that fat actually dilutes out the carotenoids from all the tissues, including the skin. There's a lot more mass now in the body to take up these fat-soluble nutrients. It's fat mass that is actually enriched with carotenoids. And what it's doing, unfortunately, is it is taking away these nutrients from the physiologically relevant tissues where they are really needed. And so people who are actually obese have a lot more free radical damage, which has been shown in many studies. We have also seen that when a person starts losing weight, when they're on a diet program, for example, we see that the scores go down even further. And the reason for that is that usually these diets restrict food intake not only from the foods that make people fat, but unfortunately also in fruits and vegetables, in foods that are rich in antioxidants. And so that's why the score goes down even more. So in a weight loss program, you have to be very, very careful to get good nutrition. And one of the best ways, of course, is to actually take Lpak during a weight loss program. The bottom line is that when you have an average score, an average antioxidant score, that corresponds to an average diet of the average American. And the average diet is not very good. The average diet contains 2 to 3 servings of fruits and vegetables only, and that's clearly below recommendations. In addition, the average American is also overweight. And as I've said before, overweight is associated with lower scores as well. So we need to get beyond this average. Average is not a good thing. The way the biophotonic scanner works is it sends a blue light that is highly focused and concentrated on top of the skin, and it goes into the upper layer of it's called the stratum corneum of the skin. That's where the carotenoids are concentrated. And it interacts with the carotenoid molecules in such a way that the blue light is changed to a green light. And the green light that is coming out is highly specific only for carotenoids. That reaction does not happen with any other molecule in the skin. That's why skin color, for example, is not a factor in this measurement. And this green light that is coming out, that's the Raman scattered light. That's what the detector is actually measuring, and that's what's giving the signal. And that's specific for carotenoids, and it also measures pretty much all the different carotenoids that are important in our diet to an equal degree. So you're getting a total carotenoid score in the skin. Free radicals are highly reactive molecules, very small molecules actually, that are very, very short-lived. They're very aggressive. They can basically attach themselves to all kinds of molecules inside the body that are really important to us, such as proteins, the fatty acids in the cell membranes, or the DNA inside the nuclei of each of our cells. And when that happens, when these free radicals react with these molecules, they destroy, they oxidize these molecules. And in the process, they actually generate more free radicals, so it actually comes to a chain reaction. And so this damage can easily get out of hand if it weren't for antioxidants. The antioxidants provide the counterbalance. They are there in the body to actually capture or neutralize these free radicals, so they stop doing the damage or they are prevented from doing any further damage. And there's a whole system inside the body called the antioxidant defense network, and that's constituted out of antioxidants that the body makes itself and also from antioxidants from the diet. And the body's antioxidant defense network absolutely relies on a steady supply of antioxidants coming from the diet. And this interaction is what is needed to fight free radicals long term.